Greetings, everyone. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you are here. Today, we're going to be playing some Magic the Gathering Arena, as always, and I can tell you, I am excited about today's deck. It is Tom KC518's deck overview, and we're going to be playing a little bit of Grixis Control. We don't typically play a lot of Control on the channel. I traditionally play a lot of, nonsense and silliness, and try to have a good time, and just play the game for fun. But today, we're hoping to get a little bit of misery injected into the client. Maybe it'll be ours. Hopefully it'll be the opponent's, but we're going to see how things go. What are we doing here specifically? Well, very specifically, we're running quite a few different Nicol Bolas. There's Nicol Bolas Dragon God. There's Nicol Bolas the Ravager. To round out our Nicol Bolas package. But then there's a little bit of Nicol Bolas flavored things, right? There's a little bit of Thought Distortion in the sideboard. There are Shadow's Verdicts, which I don't know, always kind of felt, Nicol Bolas-y to me. And there are also Anger of the Gods. And of course, we all know Nicol Bolas is a dragon god. That said, Nicol Bolas also has a brother, and in representation here in the deck is Ugin, the Spear Dragon. Folks, I think the deck, it looks quite solid. So we're going to take it out for a spin, see how we feel about it. As far as other notable points of the deck, a little hand disruption, a little bit of interaction in the early game, and this deck really comes alive post board when we get to bring in all of the silver bullets for the various matchups. So we'll see if we can bring home a couple of wins with Tom KC's Nicol Bolas nonsense. All right, folks. Vanoccupanther is our first opponent, and we will elect to go first. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, I think this is fine. We're going to go ahead and start on a Xander's Lounge. Not in too big of a hurry to Thoughtseize here. Just give them an opportunity to draw another card before we hit them with it. Wow. Okay. All of this is a little unfortunate. How about we just take the I guess we take the Invoke Despair and Blood Crypt tapped. The Fatal Push likely going to get discarded to a Prismari Command, I believe is what's about to happen here, though we'll find out in a minute when Vanoccupanther makes some more plays. Lantern of the Lost, little bit of main deck graveyard hate, don't blame them. It's a solid plan given the current context of Explorer. Fabled Mirrorbreaker arrives. Well, we're going to go ahead and Watery Grave, Narset, Parter of Veils, and they do not pop the Lantern of the Lost in response, so we're just going to go ahead and tick down. Oh, all of this is good. Actually, we're kind of sad these are going to the bottom as well, but we do need lands. I think since they have the Lantern of the Lost to prevent our Search for Azcanta from flipping, we're just going to grab the Nicol Bolas. Our opponent sees it and cracks it. Of course, they would not have cracked this almost certainly if it hadn't been for the seeing the Nicol Bolas there. Hey, that's a good one. So let's go ahead, Fabled Passage, crack the Fabled Passage, come on down, grab ourselves another black mana here, and Thoughtseize. I'm gonna take their card advantage engine Ugin and Fable of the Mirrorbreaker going to join the party. All right. Opponent gets a Fabled Passage onto the battlefield. Cracks it. Probably just going to Fatal Push here, though. It's because I think Fabled Push, get down a Murderous Rider seems like a better plan to me than Languish or March. But they also, they might have different opinions. They do, in fact, do the Fatal Push and Murderous Rider as well. They do. Capturing a little bit of that tempo back. This is to creatures or planeswalkers, right? It is. Well, I guess we're going to get rid of both of those. And Baleful Mastery, huh? That's a good one. Yeah, let's just wait. I think we'll probably be exiling the Murderous Rider here. Cabal Stronghold makes it to the battlefield. Murderous Rider gets in. We will pay. And exile a Murderous Rider. No getting it back for you, my friend. No getting it back for you. And Fabled Mirrorbreaker going to flip over. It does happen. We're just going to go ahead, not hesitate, slam Nicholas Bolas, the Dragon God, and go up. Our one card now, drawing a card, making them lose a card of some variety. Probably just the Languish. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, we're gonna go with the Drowned Catacomb here, because I think we might end up cycling this away. You really want to hit your land drops and control decks, but we're kind of already doing that, you know? Oh, they do find the extra land. That's inconvenient. So Fabled Passage going to grab themselves a swamp. They will then Cabal Stronghold. Yeah. So I think the March of Vestige Sorrow now good enough to kill our Nicol Dragon God, which is not ideal. Yep. It is indeed. Hey, there we go. Nicol number 2, and we get to go up. We get a Narset. Aha. And they just had a little graveyard hate. Yeah, we're going to go ahead, develop our board. Because Narset, very good. Search for Azcanta, very good. If this is a removal spell for Nicol Bolas, we are likely in a bit of trouble. But I was going to say, if it's not, we are in great shape. And we did, in fact, have the answers that were required. So let's... Thought Distortion, for sure. I think we... Culligan's Command. Send away Fatal Push. I would not say we're overly well teched for this matchup, you know? But in fairness, I think we should be generically strong in the matchup anyway. Maybe we just want another threat. Just Kalitas. Because they're going to be pulling a lot of their removal, typically. And it's strongly possible that that's going to be better than Prismari Command. Let's bring in a Kalitas. And see how we feel about it. Go ahead, queue up. And see where we end up. Vanoccupanther. Going to decide if they want to go first. We'll see. Waiting on your opponent. Yep. They do elect to go first, surprisingly enough. Yep. Looks great. So we're going to start on Watery Grave Thoughtseize. We'll see if we get hit with one first. No, we do. They probably just take the Thoughtseize, though it really depends on where they're at. They might be terrified of the Thought Distortion. They take that. But yeah, exactly. That was kind of the expected outcome. We're just going to go ahead and take this opportunity to Xander's Lounge tapped. Our life total shouldn't typically matter too much, so we're not afraid of shocking in. Oh, boy. Well, actually, you know, since they took the Thoughtseize... Ay. And they have the Field of Arena. These things are annoying. Yeah, let's just get rid of the Ugin, I guess. The Invoke Despair is also annoying. But the Crucible of Worlds we can get rid of with Prismari Command, and we will do it this turn. Yep. Destroy an artifact. Make a treasure. This player make a treasure. That artifact go away. And we'll pass. Your go, Vanoccupanther. Your go. It is a Fabled Passage. Looks like that Invoke Despair might be happening sooner rather than later here. Not ideal. We would like to draw land. We do, thank heavens. Alright, search for Azcanta. And Blood Crypt tapped, go. Our opponent kind of sees this Thought Distortion looming on the horizon and likely is a tad worried. They will activate the Field of Ruin. Yep. You got me. It will be a swamp. Yep. Vanoccupanther taking their time deciding on their own swamp. I wonder if they have different arts. I'm not entirely sure. Fabled Passage gets cracked. Sure enough, Cabal Stronghold. Getting ready to start making mana here. If they have a land drop, they can invoke our Despair, and they do. Alright. Well, oh, it's go blank. Yuck. Alright. Well, we desperately need a land now. Oh, thank heavens. Alright, so Dragonskull Summit. Invoke Despair, the only card that we're going to hit here, but I think that's okay. Was their card advantage engine. Just waiting, you know, to happen. We're going to send that away. We need action. We do not get it. Land. 2 cards in our bin, because of course their go blank swept our bin away. Oh no, they pull an Invoke Despair off the top. Oh man, that's bad. And Tenacious Underdog? Good lord. Okay. Alright. Nicol Bolas the Ravager is a great draw. So now lands are good and spells are good. Lands will let us flip Nicol Bolas the Ravager. Spells, obviously, you know, do things. They're spells. Opponent. Oh my goodness! Holy crap. 3 Invoke Despair. 2 of them off the top in just the last couple of turns here. Our opponent just getting absolutely as lucky as you can possibly imagine. Gets another Cabal Stronghold, and that's Ulamog. That is Ulamog. Wow. All right, Vanoccupanther. That's why you put those cards in your deck. Let's go to game 3. Let's go to game 3. Deck's perfect. Let's do it. All right, we will choose the play. Don't mind if I do. Whew. This hand is pretty iffy, but we're going to keep it. Start on a Xander's Lounge, pass turn, see how things develop. That's not too terrible. Drowned Catacomb, show up. Opponent gets another snow-covered swamp. Maze Mine Tome. Ay, ay, ay. Alright. Well, let's not fool around. Just destroy an artifact, make them discard. That player, this artifact. We're doing it now because if we wait, they can just choose to draw a card in their upkeep when we destroy it. And it's strongly possible that they want to do that. Right? So, opponent does scry. Discards a Fatal Push. What is Fatal Push still doing in their deck? Good lord. Alright, Field of Ruin. And go blank. You got me. Alright. Sure. Invoke Despair is a great one. We are very pleased about that. We're going to go ahead, Thoughtseize. Take away... I guess the March, because it's an instant. I think they're just going to end up Blood Chiefs thirsting our Goblin Shaman anyway. But a land gets us Invoke Despair. Spells theoretically would be castable. We have an Ugin, 2 Thought Distortions, Professor Onyx that we can't cast, and Invoke Despair's Nicol Bolas we can't cast yet either. But everything else in the deck we can. Field of Ruin going to get popped off here, and we get to get a Mountain. Yep. These things are fine. You got it. And a land. A Watery Grave. Submit 0. This is exactly what we want. Situation is perfect. Invoke Despair. We get Watery Grave, Nicol Bolas, Blood Crypt. Sign me up. All of those things are great. Opponent does have another land drop, which is inconvenient. All right, Fable flips. We're going to go ahead and start on Thoughtseize. Opponent going to, oh my gosh, has a March. So we're just going to go ahead and Nicholas Bolas. And go up. Do you get rid of a land, opponent? Or a March? They might just march for X equals 4. Yeah, hit the Nicol Bolas, take it away from the ultimate range. And then, you know, knock it way down on loyalty. But then they're down to just 4 permanents. And indeed, they have just the 4 lands we keep ticking up. If they can't cast the spell, which they clearly could not, Nicol Bolas just immediately runs away with this game. We're drawing 2 cards a turn. They're drawing 1 card a turn. Nicol Bolas also takes away a card. Oh, you want to save this? Great. Your lands are going away. So you can't save this. You keep your lands. You don't get more lands. You stay at 4, right? If that was a land, they play it, but then it goes away, right? And we're going up by 2 cards a turn. This is an absolute stranglehold. And if they go down any lands, there's a strong possibility Nicol Bolas just survives. So admittedly, they maybe could have given it 1 more draw step to theoretically be in it, but considering they were, you know, they obviously could not answer Nicol Bolas right now. They're going to take a little damage. We're going to draw another card. They're going to lose another card. From that point, even though these are lands, even if our opponent had that information, we're just going to be so far ahead on resources they will never catch up. And I agree. I don't think this is actually an early scoop. I think this is a you saved us all some time scoop. So I appreciate it, Vanoccupanther. You have a great day. All right, folks, we are up against Spozy. Good luck, Spozy. And yeah, we'll take the play. Don't mind if I do. And I mean, this hand is fine. Alrighty. Gonna start, I guess, on Watery Grave tapped because we do have Search for Azcantas in the list that we might want to cast. So having untapped blue sources sooner is better. Admittedly, probably won't matter because if we draw Search for Azcanta this turn, you know, we'll just shock in the only land we have and cast it. We did not, so it doesn't really matter. We will need another land, though, Dak. 1 land gets us to Prismari Command, gets us Fabled Mirror Maker, all that stuff, you know. Should be okay, but we will need a land. Thoughtseize. Annoying. A lot of powerful cards here. We will not be excited to lose any of them. It's just the Nicol Bolas, the Ravager going away, and darn it, folks, come on, man! Deck betraying us as we miss our 3rd land drop. It happens. Field of Ruin makes it to the battlefield. And Blood Tithe Harvester coming on down. That is a quick clock. We will have to watch out for that. Hey, thank heavens. Okay. Well, Fabled Mirrorbreaker joined the party. This is as much about looting as it is about, you know, the shaman or the Kikijiki. Just being able to, well, rummage, technically. It's not looting, you know. The question is, do we block if they send the Blood Tithe Harvester? Ay, ay, ay. That's unfortunate. Just gonna make it 2-3. No, they plus. Okay. Unfortunate. They do not attack. All right. Well, we submit those two. We need lands. Do not get it. That's unfortunate. Fatal Push. Send at Sorin. We make a treasure token. Sorin takes the damage. Opponent going to remove this poor little goblin. Yep. And Hive the Eye Tyrant. Sorin does tick down. All right.
I bring my own army.
I wonder if we're supposed to loot here. We could pretty easily discard the other Fable, the Mirrorbreaker. But I want essentially everything else. I think we do have to get rid of the Sorin, as chagrined as I am about that, but we also want the treasure, so we can actually cast things. So yeah, you know, let's do that. Prismari Command. Kill a Sorin.
What's one more?
Treasure generated. Opponent looking at our treasure with hungry eyes. You gonna abrade it? That would be rude. They do. All right. You got me. You got me. And we are still stuck on that mana. That feels quite bad. Fable and Mirrorbreaker, show up. And opponent looking to try and tempo us out here as best they can. The double Fable is kind of nice because it does give us a win condition later on if they are forced to spend all their removal before then. The problem is, at our current board state, it's not looking like we're going to get to the late game, you know? Hive of the Eye Tyrant, animated. Everybody gets in. Yeah, well, the land is going to be a problem, I think. We're going to kill it. We actually would prefer the Goblin Shaman survive here. Yeah, we're kind of happy about that. Because in case this happens, we want to be able to, you know, play the game. Hey, it does. We finally get a land. So land, activate. Swamp, Ravager, opponent having to discard. If you're curious why we didn't go for like Nicol Bolas there or something, the Den of the Bugbears are really, really annoying. If we tick down on this, like we essentially trade a Nicol Bolas for a token, which would feel pretty bad. So I think we want to invoke Despair before we Nicol Bolas. Though we'll see. Opponent gets in for 2. Goes back up to 18. Another Fable of the Mirrorbreaker. Flips over. All right, combat. We're going to get in. We make a treasure. All right, damage dealt. And yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and invoke. Opponent sacrificing their dude. Getting drained a little bit. Hey. Search for Azcanta is a great, great card. Now, if they exile our graveyard with like Go Blank or something, we'll be pretty sad. But being able to jam this here feels fantastic. All right. Spozy on 12 life has a Rekindling Phoenix? Oh my word. I was very much not expecting that, folks. Transform. All right, so we would like a Baleful Mastery or something. So I guess let's just Nicol Bolas. We're not going down. The Rekindling Phoenix just comes back with haste. But this does pressure their... Oh, there we go. That's a good one. Pressure their permanence. And in fairness, you know, you're probably saying like, yeah, but John, it's a... You know. It's just a blood token. But that blood token does turn future land drops into things, you know? And that would be really annoying. All right. So all of this stuff definitely also qualifies as annoying. Field of Ruin going to hit our search for Azcanta. Yeah. It resolves. We get a... Yeah, just a swamp. Opponent also gets a swamp and attacks Nicol Bolas. Does so. None of these things are surprising. Damage dealt. Kiki-jiki copies. So let's... Land plus... Actually, I wonder if that was wrong. I was planning on exiling the Rekindling Phoenix, but I think we were actually just supposed to plus with Nicol Bolas, right? Use the +2, use the +2. Instead of minusing with the Ugin. But I think this is fine. So, we're going to get in. Make a whole mess of treasures. Yep. Then go Ugin -4. Get rid of that Rekindling Phoenix. Get down another search for Azcanta. And pass. Down to the Bugbear can get rid of one of our Planeswalkers. Certainly Ugin, I think. Yep. But that just keeps putting us ahead on cards, if they elect to do that. Yeah. I mean, this attack makes perfect sense to me. Nope, don't want that. Hey, there we go. Well, more plus. That is a very, very good one. So, Fabled Mirror, Watery Grave tapped, and pass the turn. Both of these cards, very, very high value, given the Den of the Bugbear situation. Oh, Hive of the Eye Tyrant. That is annoying. So I guess we've got to save the Fatal Push for that now. Blood Tithe Harvester. Yep. It does create two permanents. But we're just going to go ahead and take this opportunity. All of these are great. All of them. All right. Invoke Despair. Our turn. Draw and discard. We'll discard that one. We draw another one. Okay. Well. They're going to get rid of their artifact. We are going to invoke their face. Shipwreck Marsh and Thoughtseize. Not precisely the cards we were hoping for, but, you know. Treasure token. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. And pass. This might actually end up being pointed at their face here. We'll see how things develop. Graveyard Trespasser. Yep. You got it. So we now have lethal on board. We just tick down Nicol Bolas, kill the Graveyard Trespasser. Attack. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, this is a card has got to be more valuable than the treasure. Actually, they're tapped out. I think this is actually just kind of BM, isn't it? Yeah. Exile. We're going to decline. Let's not BM. Let's just... Yeah. Ward, discard a card. Do combat. Make treasure. Sure enough, Spozy scoops them up. All right. GG, Spozy, GG. All right, folks, here we are up against Vaugenar. Good luck, Vaugenar. And yeah, we will choose to play. Don't mind if I do. Yeah. Hand looks great. Let's see. Opponent making their own decisions now. I love these sleeves, folks, for the record. I think these are very, very beautiful sleeves. Vaugenar, good taste in sleeves. Admittedly, I'm also pretty fond of my own. We have quite a few options that I like to fool around with as often as possible. But the I think my favorites are this one, the treasure, or the trophy, and the cookie one. Those are my favorites. Okay, well, look at this. This is definitely different than the last one. I guess we're gonna take the Thoughtseize. And not be overly thrilled about it. I think all of the other things over there are a little bit sketchy. So, you know, we'll see. We do need lands. If we don't draw lands, we are in deep trouble. Okay, there we go. Thank heavens. Yep. A little Drowned Catacomb action. We will need actually another blue land in order to get Narset down. So, you know, I hate to be picky, deck, but please? You know, blue land? All right, opponent does not choose to pay life. Oh boy, they do get a Thoughtseize though. They have really good options. Taking the Narset actually is kind of really annoying, but we might not cast it. Taking the Nicol Bolas is, you know, a pain in the backside. But they've got answers with the Murderous Rider to big Nicol Bolas. It's just, you know, all these things are annoying. Sure enough, they do go that direction. Well, Watery Grave. Come on down. Narset. Do the thing. Oh boy. Don't mind if I do. Nicol Bolas Dragon God. Join the party. Opponents are probably rolling their eyes like, oh my gosh, you know? But is what it is. Are they going to let us get another card? They do. So let's go on down before they have a chance to respond to anything. All these things are good, folks. All these things are good. Let's shoot. Let's just grab a Professor Onyx, folks. I didn't come here to be reasonable. So Nicol Bolas going to show up, cause our opponent to have to discard. None of these cards are cards they're particularly interested in keeping, I don't think. But, you know, I'm sure they would be disappointed to have to get rid of any of them. So, it resolves. Vaugenar. Discarding a Wishclaw Talisman. And Murderous Rider going to kill it? Most likely. They did leave mana open. They could have activated the Warlock class, you know? So if they weren't planning on doing this, I was going to say, it doesn't make much sense. They do make another land drop. We were really kind of hoping they might whiff on that. Hey, I mean, we would have preferred to draw a land. But if we were not going to draw a land, these things are great. Well, shoot. All right. Down to 12. We are definitely, you know, dipping down on life total. No blocks. I think our opponent's going to kill our Narset and then run out the Medug Massacre. Goes back up to 18. They don't want us to get the Nicol Bolas, I'm pretty sure. Wow. Now, they might have target removal, I guess. Over a Fatal Push goes. So whatever they got in their hand is better than a Fatal Push. And a Fatal Push would not have been bad against this Goblin Shaman, given they know what's in our hand. They have all this information, right? I think we can do better than that card. Hey, all right. We're going to make a token, and yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and Professor Onyx tick down so that any future instants and sorceries start accruing its value. Murderous Rider goes away. Opponent, 16 life, pretty healthy, but admittedly, they're going to kind of try and drain us out a bit. They were, yeah, I was going to say, they were running Grey Merchant, and it's clear that they were continue doing that, so they, in fact, do that. Let's go up. Drain ourselves a little bit as well. Yeah, that's definitely one we're going to take. And just Nicol Bolas. And get rid of a Grey Merchant. Fabled Passage, crack it. Go after, I guess, a blue source. Crash in. Search for Azcanta. And opponent only has to chew through 8 more life. With the Warlock class down, Grey Merchant's clearly in the deck, things like that. We assume things like a Yara and all that. Yeah, okay, Medug Massacre does clean up the board. We're not surprised by that. But we're also going to be chewing through our own life total with Professor Onyx, right? All right, that card can definitely go away. We will transform. Don't mind if I do. Baleful Mastery. Heck yeah. All right, so let's go up. Fabled Mirror Breaker. Don't mind if I do. Opponent needs to get rid of something. It's just a Takenuma. Kind of surprised by that. What else is that? What else is in our opponent's hand? Takenuma is a great card because they can get back Grey Merchant. Well. Yeah, let's just do this so that we can gain a little life back with Professor Onyx, drain them just a little bit. Sure. Land drop. And I guess we wait because we also might decide to Baleful Mastery, I guess. All right. Opponent has Underworld Dreams. Well, shoot. Okay. Let's make a treasure. Deal some damage. All right, just a minute. Let's make sure we do this right. Okay, target anything. Then target a player. Yes. Just didn't want to give them the treasure by accident, you know, and ping ourselves. That would have been really embarrassing. All right. Sure. Narset.
Meditate and prepare.
Another Thoughtseize? Tempting, but I don't think so. We're going to go for the Prismari Command. Go up. We do draw another card, but our opponent has to lose something as well. Yeah. Oh boy. All right. Let's invoke Despair. We gain 2 life. Opponent has to sacrifice things. They lose a little more life. We draw some more cards. Underworld Dreams. Gonna ping us a bit. Gonna ping us a bit. Let's go ahead and thin our deck, I think. Yep. Don't mind if I do. We're gonna do it right now. Question is, do we go up on Professor Onyx? Let's... All right. This is not a coward stream. This is not a coward stream. We're doing it. All right. Some more lands get out of the way. That's kind of nice. All right. Down to 5. Opponent on 9. A grip absolutely full of cards for us. Opponent stuck on 4 lands. Has Murderous Rider. Well, let's deal 2. Make a treasure. 2. Make a treasure. And opponent going to lose a little more life down to 3. Ay, ay, ay. We take another 1. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Let's start here and see if there's something else we would rather do. Narset is interesting. Well, let's go up. Okay, there's Ugin. Thank heavens. All right. Ugin is very, very good. So land, Fable, and we're still leaving up Baleful Mastery if we need. And we're going to pass. Ugin is great, folks. We just can plus and kill them, potentially. Oh, that's annoying. All right. Well, we're not going to be able to plus and kill them. So they gain a life. Our turn. Underworld Dreams pings us down to 4. We will decline. We don't want to draw any more cards. Land. Ugin. Minus X equals 3. Oh, no. Cancel. Darn it. Plus. I almost forgot about Nicol Bolas stealing abilities. So, whew, almost a little punt there. Giving them another turn definitely would have been a punt. That was a very, very close game. Okay, so let's see. Let's bring in a little Kolaghan's Command, a little Thought Distortion, and I think a little Kalitas. Pull all these Fatal Pushes. And a Prismari Command, I think. All right. Actually, maybe we were supposed to bring in the, if they gain life, they lose life thing, the Tainted Remedy. They did gain a fair amount of life. If they win this one, we might consider it. We'll see how much life they gain this turn, or this round. 2 Fabled Passages. It's really awkward. Really awkward. We will keep it. Don't mind if I do. Opponent has a Swamp and a Warlock class. We will Fabled Passage. Definitely grabbing a Swamp with the first one. Although, considering we have a 2-drop, maybe we're actually supposed to grab an island for the first one, huh? Because we do have Blood Crypts, Dragonskull Summits. Well, Dragonskull Summit wouldn't be untapped anyway. Essentially every land in the deck taps for black, except for 1 island, 1 mountain. So I guess as long as we get a black mana on the second one, it doesn't matter too much. So we're gonna go after blue. That's funny. That's really, really funny. Underworld Dreams. Punishing us. Fabled Passage grabs a black mana. Alright. Underworld Dreams pings us. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to start right now on search. Watery Grave tapped. That was actually a good draw, folks. We're pretty happy about that one. Because we don't have a second blue, and we would like to Narset in the future. The Fabled Passage can now go and get red if we don't draw red for the Fabled Mirror Breaker. Oh, Gifted Aetherborn. Interesting. Okay, I guess. Yeah. We get pinged. And yeah, I'm thinking that the Tainted Remedy might actually be reasonable here. So let's just pass. I think we're going to Baleful Mastery, the Gifted Aetherborn. We don't have a ton of life to pay because we're gonna need to draw a lot of cards to win this game, right? So with our opponent Gifted Aetherborning, just even taking a few life is gonna be really annoying. So we get rid of it. Vaugenar goes with Grey Merchant of Asphodel and drains us even more. Gotta send away the Professor Onyx, as bad as that feels, and believe me, it feels bad. Okay, let's Ravage. We were hoping for a land, but, you know, you can't always get what you want. Opponent has to bin a Swamperino. Do you have another Grey Merchant? Oh, boy. All right, Thoughtseize, sure. Gonna take that Invoke Despair. Maybe Nicol Bolas. They're both pretty nasty. It is. Oh, it's Kalitas. They just don't want us gaining the life. Interesting. And Murderous Rider kills our Nicol Bolas. All right. Well, I mean, I guess we're not Invoke Despairing this turn, no matter what we draw. Man, we really wanted that card earlier, but, you know, it is what it is. All right. So, yep, get pinged. Narset. Opponent. I think they got us here, folks. I think they got us. That said, I think it would be cool to Tainted Remedy them quite a bit. But in fairness, they could have gained some life on the Meathook Massacre, then they gained 6 off of the Grey Merchant. Yeah, exactly. All right. We're not going to make them play that out. Let's just save everybody some time. I'm not sure it's worth it because it's not coming down until later. And what do we cut, you know? Well, the Prismari commands don't feel particularly great. It's just nice to be able to ramp into like Nicol Bolas's and Invoke Despairs, right? They're always going to be ahead of us on life. It might help close the game, but we also don't have enough like creatures to clock them where it would actually make a difference. So I think we're actually gonna not. It would have been cool, but no blue mana. Awkward. Admittedly, this hand kind of is okay with that, but gonna snap off the turn 1 Thoughtseize. Why not? Duress, huh? Do we care about anything getting duressed? Not really. Let's just get rid of that Underworld Dreams. Take what you want. It's probably going to be the Ugin. Well, it's a long way off. I guess it depends on how much hand disruption they have in their deck. If they only have, like, 2 Duresses, 2 Thoughtseize or something, they might, yeah, take the Ugin, but it also makes sense to grab something a little more castable. All right. These Warlock classes are annoying. And our opponent is going to get to use them. Indeed. Warlock class, Warlock class. Xander's Lounge. Sign me up. Opponent leveling up a Warlock class. And we get a Thought Distortion. Well, I think we'll probably be Kolaghan's commanding at the end of their turn just to be able to take advantage of mana and tempo and things, you know? They get another Underworld Dreams. That's unfortunate. All right. Those 2 targets. Opponent has a land to get rid of. Baleful Mastery. Feels bad, man. Need them lands. Fabled Mirrorbreaker being able to discard and draw here would have been great. Really chagrined that we had to get rid of it. Sorin the Mirthless, huh? Gets a 2/3 lifelink. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, I mean, I guess. We don't want to allow them to get another card, so we're going to do that, but it feels bad. This one likely slipping away from us, folks. Did not get the lands. Thoughtseize does take our Ugin this time. And I do think that is going to be it, because there's only just the one Ugin on the list. Underworld Dreams, pinging us. Fable and Mirror Breaker arriving, but they're 2/3s, folks. All those are 2/3s. Yeah. Everybody crashes in. We take it down to 7. They make a land drop. It's Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Yeah, that's just good enough. We are done. All right, let's see what we got for the turn, but you got us, opponent. You got us. GG, Vaugenar. GG. All right, folks, we are back. We are back. And honestly, I had a great time. The matchups weren't particularly diverse. You know, we recorded 3 games and there was black and on both sides of the board for all of it. But admittedly, we're just in the play queue, so that does happen, you know, with the strength-based matchmaking. The deck, honestly, it was fun. I really cannot complain. I enjoyed it. You know, might not hurt if we got a little more diversity, you know. But alas, you can't always get what you want. So here we are, though, looking back at different things we might change. I think, if anything, we might consider doing something a little more robust at our 2-drop slot. Because in the pre-board and post-board, you know, we've got a lot of 3s we want to be casting, and just not very many 2s. Unless we're in a graveyard matchup, the Weathered Runestones are it. And admittedly, the Baleful Mastery can be cast for 2, but often not on 2. That doesn't typically make a lot of sense. So the flexibility is good, but not quite where we want to be. Typically, we want to be casting it for 4. So maybe, you know, exploring other options at 2 mana just to help the deck curve a little better, since especially game 1, we're more mid-rangey than control. You know, we don't have that many removal spells. We're just getting up to our haymakers and casting them, and it puts our opponent in a bad spot and we grind them out, you know. So you know, we might consider that. As far as options, you know, maybe like Maze Mind Tome might be a really good one. Give us something to do with our mana both early and late. Makes for a great top deck late in the game. If we've got, you know, 8 or 10 mana and you top deck a Maze Mind Tome, you're like, oh my gosh, heck yeah, because the same turn you cast it, you draw an extra card. So it was like you didn't even bother drawing a card this turn, or I mean wasting a card at all. But then on future turns you get to draw 2 a turn, right? It's great. But then even on turn 2, if you don't have anything better to do, just getting that down, scrying for lands and the like is very good. Or if you're really stuck, having to pay to draw for lands stinks. But like, you know, you do what you got to do, right? So Maze Mind Tome would really help there quite a bit. It just really depends on what you might change it out for. The list seems fairly tight. So maybe, I don't know, maybe like cut 1 Narset, 1 Prismari Command or something for it. Just again, to help with our curve considerations, both pre and post board. But either way, I think it's a little bit nitpicky. The deck was fun, and it did fine. So thank you very much for your submission, Tom KC. I will catch you all next time. You have a fantastic night. Don't forget to like and subscribe.